Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Hedgehog's Homestead. My name is Laura. Today we are going to separate some starts that we got. We got some at the store. And remember, in my last video, I showed you how you could get a great value when you buy something at a store only if you've got more than one plant in a container. That's where you really save some money. If you're buying one plant per each container, it is not a great value. It doesn't hold up. And then we have all these tomato plants that we started together, and they are getting a little purplish on the bottom, needing some phosphorus. And so that tells me that these guys really need to go in some new pots now. So we're gonna go ahead and oh, they already smell like tomato plants. I love that smell. Anyways, so we're gonna pot them up. We have some soil here that I have put in some hot water and mixed up really well. You want your soil damp, like a damp sponge is what you want your soil. So first thing we're gonna do is I wanna do these watermelons. And I'm gonna go ahead and use that pot for one of my other new watermelons. And I'm just gonna gently break this soil apart. I'm gonna gently break this soil apart, being ever so gentle with the seedlings. Tomatoes are a lot more forgiving of this. You don't want to tear at them, and just kind of slowly release them from each other. Trying to break the least amount of root off as possible. Okay, so now we have 4 separate seedlings. So we're going to fill our little containers, which I've washed out. Just lightly. I've used them before. Halfway full. Plop our seedling in there. Get all the roots in there. And then with these guys, we just want to backfill that slightly, putting in the soil with our fingers around the seedling. And the reason why I'm uppotting these seem like they're pretty healthy seedlings already, but I want them a little bit bigger before I put them out. I want enough growth on these guys as much as possible because I really need a head start here in the Northwest to grow watermelon. So that's number 1. And so we'll just put it over here. And what we're doing is we're putting it in a tray like this where we can water this. We don't have to water inside there. We can water it in the bottom and, put fish emulsion in our water, and make sure that you pay attention to how much fish emulsion you put in your water, because you can overdo it really easy. You want to pay close attention, and then you even want to water it down a little bit more for seedlings. So again, fill the pot halfway full. Put our seedling in there. And this is going to be totally different with tomatoes. Isn't that a nice healthy seedling? That's the nice thing about buying smaller seedlings. You can often find smaller seedlings where you have more than one in one pot. Okay, so now this goes in our container over here. We'll put one in here. Now if I had a bunch of these I would label each one of them, but I don't have that much seedlings out right now. And I know what my tomatoes look like, and I know that those are all Cherokee Purple. That's all I have left. The rest of them are in the ground out there because I started those back in February is when you start tomato seedlings for our area. I think next time I will wait until end of February, if we're still here, if we're not at our new property already. Okay, and our last one, I'm just going to put that in there. I'm really going to enjoy planting at the new property because I will get to have a space that has plenty of sun. I really have the lack of that here. We have a beautiful lot where I live, and we love it so dearly, and it's very, even though we're backed up to a park, it's pretty private because of all the woods. But that takes away a lot of my sun in my yard. So that's the sad thing about the size of this lot. But on our new property that we will move to when God allows, there's plenty of areas to put a beautiful garden with all the sun. Okay, now to our tomatoes. Notice I just put a bunch, almost a whole seed package in here. These are Cherokee Purple seeds, and I'm just going to slowly get all these seeds out of here, all these plants, and oh, man, that smells lovely. Guys, I've ever just kind of smell tomato plants. It's a heavenly thing. And we know that tomato plants are so much better when our tomatoes are so much better from a homegrown garden. Neighbor brought me some salmon. So nice. I give him eggs and he repays me with salmon. I think I'm benefiting here. I love eggs, and I am very happy to share them, and especially when you get paid back with salmon, right? Okay, so now the difference between potting this we've just potted to the same place it was in the other pot. A tomato plant, you have all these nice little hairs on here, and what you're going to do, so you want to, those hairs will grow new roots, and the more roots you have, the healthier plant, right? So we are going to plant these deep. So I have about half the soil I did, just like the other one, and I'm going to kind of push this down in the soil that's there, and then I'm going to fill soil all around it, and I am going to take advantage of those little hairs being on there to grow more healthy roots. Healthier roots, healthier plant. Okay. And I'm going to basically fill this pot up to its neck. So it looks like I took half the plant away, and that's the adjustment. And I do this every time. So if they're going to go from here into my soil outside, I'm going to do the same thing, guys. Oh, that's a nice healthy stalk on that one. Huh? So they are almost up to their necks in soil, and that's the way you plant a tomato, guys. So let's keep on going and get this done. I just crossed a baby. Well, at least it was a nice small one. if you do this, guys, and you have all these tomato plants, the nice thing about, you know, just a bunch of them in one pot, you get to see from the very start of your starts which tomato plant is the strongest and the healthiest. And so you can kind of play that game, right? Okay, this one was nice and strong and healthy. So I filled this pot a little higher. If you do that, just make a nice hole in there. Okay, we got this nice healthy stalk on this one. We're gonna put that in there. And then again, we're gonna fill this pot, this tomato plant up to its neck in soil. Maybe I can give one of my plants to my neighbor. That would be nice. Okay. Oh. Okay, and hopefully, I'll have to see if I have some mixture with a little phosphorus for those leaves. Now when you plant this outside, you don't want to plant these tomato plants where the leaves are touching the ground. I'm not going to worry about this because this is going to go inside in this area here, and we're going to put these this container on a heating pad, which you can get on Amazon. It's a great place to get it. And I do have to say, as much as I don't like shopping on Amazon, they do have the best prices on this kind of stuff. And usually it lasts a long time, so if you're overwhelmed, if you're like in the box store and you're overwhelmed by the prices of what a heating pad or a grow light would be in the box store, go ahead and go on Amazon and get a cheaper one, or look up on YouTube. Now I have some expensive grow lights, and I tell you what, I couldn't afford to get a bunch of them because we are trying to get debt free so we can move onto our property. And I tell you, those grow lights, and I didn't even get the specs that they recommend. I'm sorry, those shop lights that I got at my big box store, you can get them on Amazon too, are just as good as what my grow lights are. Actually, I almost dare to say better. You do want to get close to the aluminums that they recommend, which I think is 700. Good luck finding that. Those are a little more expensive. My aluminums that I have on my grow lights are 45 or 4,500, and they work great. So buy what you can afford. Don't let a salesman talk you into buying something you can't afford. It's not worth going into debt for. I think we all kind of panicked last year and spent too much money. I mean, because the world was going to end, and it's, you know, who knows what's happening, and some people say it's still going to end, but I have faith, and I have a God in heaven, and my safety is in him. So that's where I stand on that, guys. Okay, there you go. Up to their necks. So that's all we need to show you today. I'm probably gonna finish maybe half of these up. I'm not gonna do the real small ones. Like this little guy is real small. It could still be a viable plant, but it wasn't as big as the other ones. The other ones stood out. So I'm gleaning the best out of what I planted and what I planted out of many seeds in one pot, and that saves you a lot of room, a lot of grow space under lights, under all of that stuff. You know, because I put these in this pot, and I put it in a tray just like this one, and I put many seeds in one little pot, and they all sprouted out, and this is what you get. And that's going to save a lot more space than doing probably the same amount in one tray. So that's just what I recommend, guys, and you save a lot on how many shop lights you're going to have that way. So I'm going to get the rest of these out here, guys. Thank you for coming along with me today, and please like and subscribe, and as always, God bless.